All right, so before we even get started, I'm just gonna. You guys all saw that? We're gonna throw a little something up here. Yeah.
Ooh la la.
For all of you who like want to exploit or like just fucking pejoratively bring down the merits of Bayonetta because she's the sex object, I don't know, man. I think that's a losing race.
Falcon's a sex object, if anything.
Yeah. Like, that's a straight fucking badonkadonk. Like, dude, like, Falcon buns. Like, no
Falcon
joke.
Bonds.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I think this may be one of the first and only times I'll, like, actively comment on Bayonetta's ass, but, like, look at it now. I don't know where it starts and ends. It's just, like, back then leg. But anyway, yeah, we're playing... Oh, there's one game that was a big deal. And speaking of breaking the internet, almost kind of... Well, it broke NeoGAF. It definitely went that far. But yeah, this plays Bayonetta 2. And just having some fun here with one of the weapons. Currently, just tagging a particular moment where... I believe Bayonetta is on her way to Purgatorio. It's basically the same Bayonetta nonsense, but I kind of like it only because unlike the first one, here it's actually way more cohesive, and it even finds a way to make the first one seem a little bit more cohesive if you're familiar with the first one. But yeah, guys. So I know Gil's like in the camp. By the way, Gil and Sarah are on the play with us. You guys should say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, thank you. This is very quaint. So, moving on to fucking the peanut gallery, the comedy hour, variety hour. I don't know. Anyway, how do you guys feel about the fact?
Little column B?
Yeah, a little. Exactly. Thank you. You know where I was going with this. Oh God, just the fucking ridiculous names. How do you guys feel about the fact that this was just straight exclusive to Wii U? We never really talked about that.
Well, I love it just because the only reason that it is exclusive to the Wii U is because if it wasn't for the Wii U, this game wouldn't exist, so...
And, you know, I kind of, like, I'm trying to think back to how many times, like, certain, like, just certain platforms and, like, brands as a whole, like, I think the last time something like that was done was, that I could remember, was Microsoft, and they did that with Coldcept. But that was such a smaller franchise. That, like, had a super dedicated niche fan base. So, and, like, that was the last American release fucking Coldcept. Just, oh, dude, those Michael Keaton lips. Like, come on. Like, it's a little much. But yeah, this particular, these kind of scenes in Bayonetta 2 happen to be my least favorite. Me and Gil talked about this. The spectacle fights, and I mentioned it in my review. Well, why do you love it? Because
it's fucking sweet. It's just like, and you have to understand, this is coming from somebody where, like, I don't normally, like, I even heard, like, before when you were talking about Galaxy, like, I don't like how flashy and showy it is. But, like, this I like how flashy and showy it is. Because it feels a lot more epic. Like, everything about this just feels big, and it feels like I'm, like, and it does take skill to do it, so it's like, I feel like I'm watching this, like, intense, crazy, like, movie, but but it's interactive.
Yeah, but, you know, it's actually more than
It's like
that,
the Wizard of Oz on LSD.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned that, and that's kind of like, what you're basically describing is, like, a glorified QuickTime event, which I don't even want to...
Not really.
I wish this was, though. Like, I feel like there's a little too much going on, and it floods the senses. Like, I'm all for, like,
but I think that's the point.
Yeah, but, like, the thing is, though, is I think it floods the senses to a point where, like, you no longer, like, feel in command, which that's, like, the best part about Bayonetta is that, like, she's a character that very much, like, engages this, like, incredibly, like very, very fucking, like, engaging sense of command. Like, this badass fucking witch woman who just, like, doesn't even cast any spells. She just kicks shit with her fucking feet and hair. like I don't feel like I have that same sense of finesse and control in these moments. And the game's very deceptive when it makes me feel like I do, and then there are moments where like I get kind of taken out of the experience. I don't know, but I see where like
if it was a quick time event, I could understand that, but this like you have to really pay attention because to get this like to be good at it, there's like you need to get everything exact. Like you need to dodge things when you need to dodge them. Like everything is very timing based, but it's not timing based the way like quick time events are. Because quick time events, I just feel like I'm just pressing buttons. This, I feel like there's actually like I have to use my brain. Because it doesn't have like a button prompt. You have to know like it's like you have to feel when you need to dodge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the game is definitely very instinctual in that, but I think the one thing that like here, and I'll admit like it's definitely a skill thing, but it's like one of those weird inconsistencies that I am nitpicking. Like in a lot of the combat scenarios in Bayonetta 2, like sometimes just sufficiently dodging without necessarily steering or maneuvering a particular direction will be sufficient enough. And these spectacle moments, that is not the case. You have to steer and like this was a little much because there are times where like I completely lost any sense of momentum or just like my bearings as far as like which access like would lead me like left or right, up or down, especially like during like intensive combat. But like at the same time, it wasn't bad. It was just flawed, which is weird.
Can we talk about how fucking good this looks?
Yes, I was actually going to look at that. And I want to like talk to fucking Sarah about that because like I don't know how much you've seen of this game in action, Sarah, but like this like Mario Kart fucking 8, a lot of the big fucking games and Smash Brothers that came out on Wii U, man, like they really just highlight like I can't believe there were even conversations to talk about just how underpowered the Wii U is, because like even then like man, like a lot of the current hardware isn't even really being flexed to potential to where like the difference is anything more than just marginal. And like I feel like the Wii U is a giant testament to that when it can still pump out shit that looks like this.
Yeah. Like cool, it's underpowered, but they know how to use it. If you can utilize it properly and make it look good, I don't care if it's technically inferior, because this looks great.
Yeah, and you know, like not to rub salt in the wound, and like we'll talk about it to some extent, but like it's at like it's almost during some points where I feel like Nintendo's almost antiquated system like is almost more of a strength than a flaw, just because of like all the nonsense we've seen with Lizard Squad the last couple of weeks. And just like, you know, it's a really weird thing to say when like your Wii U is the only home console with a working connecting network on Christmas Day, and you can play games online like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers without any issue. Like, I don't think I've seen more Nintendo Network IDs exchanged than I did.
Well, there's a lot of... Well, you know what's funny about that is that, like, and a lot of Nintendo's games you don't need to play online. The thing is, like, yeah, a lot of people couldn't get online when they got their Xbox Ones or PS4 on Christmas Day, but there's games they literally couldn't even play single player because they needed an internet connection for it to work.
Yeah, which I don't, you know, and I appreciate, like, it's weird because it's like there are these things which Nintendo extols and they're just like, see, told you so. That's why we don't do that shit. But then there are other times where, like, you know, they could stand to be a little bit more with the times.
Well, yeah, Nintendo's online is still shit, but it's not getting attacked by 20-year-olds.
Yeah, with fucking Linksys routers. But yeah, like, you know, and even then, just a lot of the other stuff, it's funny because, like, Ubisoft pulled out of their support with the Wii U, and, like, funny, now they're going back to reconsider it, and so is Warner Brothers. And, like, it's just funny because, like,
you know, oh, God. This looks good after, like, it's been compressed and put on YouTube. You know what I mean? So like, even this doesn't even compare to seeing it on your screen, on your TV screen. You know what I mean?
No, it really doesn't. And even then, like, I kind of feel like there's this huge argument that how this game was gonna fail just because of like Nintendo hardware. And here I'm just like, I'm getting my ass kicked by like this giant Michael Keaton angel snake. I'm gonna fucking just take a lollipop to my dome. There we go. Back to business.
Oh wait, how about all the different costumes?
Oh yeah.
Which don't only change your appearance, they change how you play the game. They change how you fight.
And it's funny too, because like what's really cool is they even found a way to retrofit that in the port of the original, which I really liked. But like, I think this game kind of stands as a testament alone as well to just like where everybody's been always like they've always knocked Nintendo for not being able to do third party, but like I think when Nintendo's involved, they can totally do third party. And you know, they kind of applied the same like direction they did with like GameCube, because I remember like all the third party stuff on GameCube had like some sort of neat Nintendo exclusive. Like I like the one
yeah, but this was first party published though, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. It technically is, and then it technically isn't. It's like it's co-party, like because like Sega is still like on the bill, but like Nintendo's not just publishing it; they even help develop it. So it's almost like, you know, if Nintendo could like allocate the right resources, like, and if they like took on like the right third-party games that would make sense for it, like I think they could totally make Arkham Knight work on fucking Wii U. But if like Warner Brothers got involved and like did something cool that would like appeal to like Wii U owners or just people in general, like here's a crazy thought. What if there were third-party amiibos? Like, you know what I mean? It's like shit like that can happen, and I feel like it's this game alone is kind of like pioneered like.
Well, that's not that crazy because there's third-party characters in Smash. You know what I mean? Like Mega Man amiibo's coming out, and that's third-party technically.
No, but I mean like, let's just say like there was a Batman amiibo figure that like would give you an extra set of armor in like fucking Arkham Knight or something like that. Like something like that would be rad as shit.
Yeah.
And like that's the one thing too. Everybody thought that this game was going to be compromised, like being exclusive to Nintendo. As you can see with all of the underboob and the fucks and the poops, like, nope. Like, I still love the way Nintendo signed off on like allowing this game to be promoted through like cosplay, fucking pornography, and Playboy.
Well, you know what? People forget about things like Nintendo signed off on Conker's Fur Day a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, everybody always talks about Nintendo being like the kitty company, but they've been known to occasionally do shit like that.
I'm gonna take that trophy. I'm gonna own it. I wasn't at my best here. It's just it's these moments like it's weird. It's like the moment I'm on like in the normal area or the normal flow of gameplay or dynamics expected with Bayonetta, then like, you know, I have my bearings. But I will applaud them. And I'm pretty sure, like, I think Nintendo had a lot to do with that, too. The spectacle moments do change up things. Because, like, I will say that as excellent and as polished as the Bayonetta combat system and just, like, the overall gameplay is, there's still a sense of fatigue with it, but not in 2. 2 always had something going that kept me going. Like, whether it was enemies or, like, moments like that. So, like, even if it was a little frustrating, like, I still felt compelled to play.
You know what I was surprised about? How you mentioned, like, you know, Nintendo not like censoring it or like dumbing it down, like all, you know, the fucks and the boobs and everything. But what I was surprised about, like, I was assuming they wouldn't do that, but like what I'm surprised about is the fact that they incorporated those costumes, like the Zelda costume and the Samus one and everything. Like, it's one thing for them to be like, okay, we can make this game, you know, be mature on our console, but it's another thing to incorporate their first-party, you know, not IPs, but certain elements from those IPs into a game like that.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, and even then, like, I feel like if anybody else got involved, I don't think they would have had the same amount of fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, there are a few games, like, there's another one, too, that, like, kind of, like, embellishes, like, that just instinctive carnal idea of fun in a game, and that was Sunset Overdrive. And, you know, weirdly enough, it kind of suffered from the same thing slightly. There was a slight bit of fatigue near the end. Like, that end game was a bit rough. But I don't know. Sarah, come on. This is like the eternal question every time when we come to points like this. Have we sold you a Wii U yet?
Absolutely not. I'm boycotting Nintendo after the junk that I put up with yesterday.
Oh, boy. You're just all sour over these amiibos, man.
I'm sour over a lot of stuff Nintendo does, and I'm kind of sick and fucking tired of it.
But, like, I think if anything, too, like, this whole approach that
giant spermstopus.
Yeah, but it's that, I think it's that mouth more than anything. I don't know. He definitely, hold on. I have to admit that, like, he definitely looks very Cthulhu-esque. But he kind of looks like Cthulhu's, like, fucking bag vacuum. If I were to name off anything, I don't know. But yeah,
when you dress as Link, you pick up rupees, right?
Yeah, I believe that yeah, instead of the halos, and then you get coins if you do like Peach or because there's like, I don't know if there's a Mario and a Peach, but I know there's a Peach.
There's a Samus, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a Samus, which I have yet to really play around with. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like,
God, it looks so good.
Yeah, aside from the fact that, like, it's fucking Bayonetta, it's also way more obnoxious than, like, the first one ever was. That really took me off guard. Now, Sarah, did you ever really, like, super play the first one? Like, I know me and Andrew, like,
I've got it, but I've never put it in my machine.
Like, yeah, because, like, do you mind if I ask why? Like, come on, man, look at this. We're
Really, it's all a matter of time.
But, dude, like, I think one of my favorite parts is every time I do fight enemies, I feel like I'm fighting shit that I would find in my grandma's house. Like, hanging on the wall, or just, like, just chilling on her fucking, like, pantry or whatnot. Stuff that, like, it complete with that, like, iconic, I don't even remember that picture, but those two little angel dudes that are just leaning on a fucking fence.
Dealing with a full-on knick-knack attack?
Pretty much. Like, this is straight, like, oh god, I want to say this is straight Pawn Shops, or what's that fucking TLC show?
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars, yeah, this is straight Pawn Stars crossing.
They've got pornography now, eh?
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. You just gotta fight a bowl of assorted, like, miscellaneous candy, including, like, those little strawberry candies.
No, but, like, honestly though, like, it gets more and more that way. Like, I think, aside from the consistency, but the wackiness, like, the deeper you get into Bayonetta 2, the more you basically come across what seems like Japanese Etsy. Like, pretty much. Like, you're just fighting Japanese Etsy art coming to life.
Hey man, these are angels.
Yeah, and, like, I still kind of like the whole duality that went with that. I don't... See, the one thing that, like, and I didn't get all the way to the end of the game, and I don't know if you finally did yourself, Gil. No, I don't know how much Steam's left in this license after this particular game, though. I mean, like, it was weird because, like, I totally could imagine, like, there being a sequel of Bayonetta. There was still a lot left done, but, like, they did a lot of shit. And then only that, there's one thing that's going on in this play that, like, we're not even touching. That's the co-op.
Yeah, but the thing is that this game, like, even though I haven't played it to the end, like, I'd enjoy a sequel, I'd really like a sequel, but I don't feel like it's a game that needs a sequel. And I'd much rather that than them keep making more games and then it becomes stale. And then they come out with shitty ones that play similarly to the old games, but everybody's like, oh, it's not as good as the old one. The new one sucks.
Well, I guess that's one good thing about Platinum games, though, is that they really don't sort of repeat themselves too often.
But you know what, dude? Like, I don't know. Okay, so like, here's the thing with Platinum games, and like, and I know, like, in my heart, like, it's true, is that, like, if they're engaged, if they're invested into the project, then we'll get Platinum quality. But there are times where, like, Platinum is, like, I can't, like, there are no words. I just shake my head in disbelief. Like,
what up, Anarchy Reigns?
Well, you know what they could do? You know what they could do also? They could even do something like spin-off games, like one where you play as, like, Jean. Kind of like what they did with Mega Man and Zero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which I would, you know, I wouldn't mind that at all, but, like, again, it all depends, because, like, you know, Sarah, you mentioned Anarchy Reigns, and that's an excellent example, but, like, the newest one that comes to mind is fucking Korra. Like, I still, like, it boggles my mind.
Was that Platinum developed?
Yeah, dude, that was Platinum developed. Dude, and that was Platinum developed, like, it's like, the thing that comes to mind is, like, either all resources were, like, fucking allocated and centered towards Bayonetta, and then, like, they got the fucking D-Team squad, like, working on Korra, and they're just like, oh, it's a Nickelodeon cartoon, they'll love it. Or, like, I don't know. And, like, that's the one thing that frightens me. I feel like, you know, to kind of, like, I guess, like, push Bayonetta's luck, so to speak, considering, like, that, like, all the history that just went into even us getting this one, you know, fuck, man, I don't know. Like, let's just throw up Captain Falcon's ass again. Alright, look at it. There we go. That's all I have for you folks. I couldn't really finish that thought with anything else. We've currently got this fucking Yu-Gi-Oh character throwing his, like, Heart of the Cards, and he's wearing his Millennium item. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so fun. You know, funny enough, I just came across, I didn't even know Konami released it, but they released, like, an instructional DVD on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, dude, one of my fucking favorite thrift store buys so far. Aside from finding 16 candles on Laserdisc, which is also another fucking crowning achievement, if I do say so myself. I don't... Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gil. Do you remember if the Panther thing was, like, in the first game? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I didn't play too much of the first one.
Yeah, and
I've been saving, like, I want to play through it, I have it, but I want to just play the Wii one. The Wii U, I mean.
I kind of want to know how much Jaden Smith got paid for his appearance in this game. like right there, dude. Like,
dude, no, that's little Romeo.
I don't know, dude. I want to say it's Jaden Smith because, like, I can only imagine Platinum Games, like, accidentally following him on Twitter and just seeing all the weird shit they post. Just reading a tweet that says, do we know if the sun's even really hot? I mean, imagine it. None of us have really held it, right? Might not be that hot then. And then they're like, that's it. That's the kid we need to put in this fucking game. But yeah, currently, and see, but it's these kind of sequences that, like, I also enjoyed because you'll encounter this. I think for the first time, that was interesting. Like, I know how I talked about how, like, Bayonetta's enjoyable because she's such a badass character, but the game does a really good job of making her look vulnerable for the very first time, especially with, like, you know, I don't want to spoil too much, but, like, with her new attachments to other characters, she's not this, like, selfish, like, I'm in it for myself kind of broad. Oh, dude.
Dude, fuck the Mazlumin.
I
hate him.
Yeah, but, like, and see, this is kind of, like, one of those attention to details that you won't see anymore, like, in Western games, I think, or to that degree, that, like, you'll see in this game. Like, you know, when, like, every single enemy gets their own, like, fucking small introduction and like bumper, just to like it's almost like it's setting a stage, and just like all the little details and effects that like totally go into the fucking flair and like frenetic nonsense. Like, oh man, like Japanese games will always be, no matter, even if you're not playing them, no matter what decade you will see a Japanese game being played from, like over half of the time, I'd say it's safe to say they're always fun to watch. And I'm glad Bayonetta 2 like kept that fucking going. But yeah, oh, dude, shit's getting real. So, I have to say,
that's all I heard. That's great.
Well, yeah, it's because she's summoning like her spaghetti hair noodle dog, like, which is cool, because like, yeah, doggy.
This fight was ridiculous. Ugh.
Yeah, but it like, see, these kind of spectacle fights to the point where like you would think that like,
wait, is this the one where at the end it's like the Rock'em Sock'em Robots part?
Yes.
Yes.
It's so good though. I love it. Okay, so like, I particularly love that scene too, because I feel like it's a callback to like other like Japanese developed games that did shit like that, like fucking Rocket Knight Adventures, like did that a lot. And then fuck, I'm trying to think of like, I even think like a Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog game did that. But I digress. Thanks for watching Press Pause Radio's Play, and stay tuned for the next video. Ciao.